Hey everyone, how are you? I am Malay, your instructor here. Today we'll learn about SQL injection, how it works, and what are the impacts and how can you defend against this vulnerability. Let's dive. So today we'll cover several topics. The first one is introduction to SQL injection. Second is types of SQL injection. Third is how SQL injection works. The next is impacts of SQL injection, prevention strategies, SQL injection scanning tools. So, what is SQL injection basically? SQL injection is a type of security vulnerability that allows an attacker to manipulate SQL queries by injecting malicious code into input fields. Types of SQL injection. So, the first type is in-band SQL injection. And in this type you will find again two types, error based and union based. We will learn about them too. The second one is blind SQL injection. There are two types again, Boolean-based blind SQL injection and time-based blind SQL injection. There are three types too, second order SQL injection, stored SQL injection, dynamic SQL injection. So let's learn about them. In-band SQL injection. So there are two types in in-band SQL injection. So what is union-based SQL injection? This method uses the union SQL operator to combine the results of the original query with results from other queries. Attacker can extract data from other tables by crafting a query that returns results from multiple sources. Let's learn about error-based SQL injection. This technique relies on error messages returned by the database to gain information about the database structure. Attackers can manipulate queries to generate errors that reveal details about the database. Let's learn about blind SQL injection types. So what is Boolean-based blind SQL injection? In this type, the attacker sends a query that returns a true or false response. By analyzing the application's response, the attacker can interfere and infer whether certain conditions are true or not, allowing them to extract data bit by bit. So what is a time-based SQL injection? This technique involves sending a query that causes a delay in the response using functions like sleep. The attacker can determine if the query is true or false based on the response time, allowing them to infer information about the database. Let's learn about out-of-band SQL injection. This type of SQL injection occurs when the attacker is unable to use the same channel to launch the attack and gather results. Instead, they use different channels such as sending data to an external server controlled by the attacker. This method is less common and typically used when other methods are not effective. This is the unique one which you will ever see. Second order SQL injection. In this type, the attacker injects malicious SQL code that is stored in the database and executed later. Often when a different part of the application retrieves the data, this can happen when the user input is stored and later used in a query without proper sanitization. Let's learn about dynamic SQL injection. This type involves injecting SQL code into dynamically constructed SQL queries. If an application constructs SQL queries by concatenating user input without proper validation or sanitization, it becomes vulnerable to SQL injection. Let's know about stored SQL injection. This occurs when the injected SQL code is stored in the database. Example, we can take an example that in a user profile command and is executed later when the data is retrieved. This can lead to persistent vulnerabilities that affect multiple users. So, how SQL injection works? Let's see an example. As you can see, there is a diagram. There are web client, web and application server, and also a database server. So let's see this case and scenario. So as you can see, there is a web URL test.com and you can see here a parameter user. and there is a value, default value ABC. So let's understand the scenario of an attacker. The attacker always tries to give some SQL conditions here. So as you can see, there is a condition or 1 equals to 1. Obviously 1 equals to 1, we all know that. That's why the web application server also processes it, and when you just enter this request ABC or 1 equals to 1, the backend SQL query will be like this: select all from users. As you can see here, this goes to database server by the web application server. So what database servers actually do here, when this processes the request which he has gotten, he just see the SQL query here, and then he processes all the data of all users and returns it to the web application server, and the web application server then returns all the data of all users to web clients. Let's understand it with another scenario. As you can see, here is a login form in my left side. There are two input boxes in mail ID and password, and there is exploit in the right side which has been indicated by hackers' uses. Let's know about it, that what is happening here basically. The SQL injection can be happened in three places. One is obviously parameters, where the SQL queries are also bind. Second is the search box, the same case. Third is the login form, and this is the most important thing which we should notice in our daily life when we code an web application. Because just think about it, that when you just process a malicious SQL query, it can happen to, or it can lead to return all the data of the users in your database server. But this is not an ethical practice, or this is not the main or normal behavior of the web application. If a hacker is able to bypass the login field, then what is the use of it? Obviously, the use of login field is to authorize the authorized members only, not and also protect from the unauthorized accesses. And if the hacker is able to bypass this, then what is the reason to use and make a login form in our web application for the admin panel, right? This is the main thing. So let's understand that what the hacker is doing here, and what the payload is basically doing here. That's why the hacker is able to log in this field without any type of proper or correct credentials, just a SQL query type payload, and he is in the admin panel, right? So basically the payload exploits the SQL injection by closing the email string. As you can see, there is an inverted comma, then adding a condition that is always true, and commenting out the rest of the query, allowing unauthorized access to the web application. Let's do an analysis. The first one is SQL query manipulation. The original SQL query might look like this, as you can see in the screen. When the hackers are injecting payloads, this can transform into this. Let's understand the backend scenario. As you can see, there is a URL which is based on parameter. Basically, the website product showing parameter based, and the URL is like example.com product ID 1, but the exploited URL will be like this. Basically, the attacker closes the original query with a single quote and adds an union select statement to retrieve the database version using version function. Then the backend database query will be like this. In the response, the database executes the query, returning both product details and the database version, which is then displayed to the attacker, which is not the normal behavior which the programmer or the administrator is wanted. Because without the administrators or the programmers of that company, none is authorized to view or see there's a secret and important details of their web application or the product or the server. Now we will learn about the impacts of SQL injection. So there are several impacts. One is unauthorized access, then data theft, data manipulation, database compromise, denial of service or DOS attack, reputation damage, regulatory penalties, financial loss, intellectual property theft, increased security costs. How can we defend against this vulnerability? So let's learn about the defense methods. There are several defense mechanisms. Parameterized queries, and we will obviously see an example. Then stored procedures, input validation and sanitizations. Use of ORM, web application firewalls, least privilege principle, error handling and logging, regular security audits and code reviews, use of security libraries and frameworks, database activity monitoring. Let's see the secure code practices for PHP and Python, the most used languages. So as you can see, a secure coding practice has been shown in the screen. What are the famous SQL injection scanning tools? One is a SQL map, another is Burp Suite, then Java-based tool, JSQL injection, BBQ SQL, and Aquantex web application scanner. SQL injection remains a significant threat to data security, allowing attackers to manipulate databases and access sensitive information. Understanding the potential impacts such as unauthorized access and reputational damage is crucial for organizations. To mitigate these risks, implementing robust defense strategies is essential. Utilizing parameterized queries, input validation, and web application firewalls can significantly reduce the likelihood and successful SQL injection attacks. Continuous improvement through regular security audits and staying updated on the latest security practices is vital. Fostering a culture of security awareness within the organization will help to protect data and maintain trust with users.